absolutely lashing down. 5 to 6 in Ballymoy as the runners are about to make their way towards the start for our 5th race. A feature in the Tommy Whittle coming up just over half an hour away at 2:40. Looking forward to that. And then we conclude with a handicap hurdle over 2 miles and 6 furlongs at 3:15. So as they walk forward towards the tip, Chili Balco right to the head of it, which is no surprise. Looks like we're ready for a prompt start once again. Hopefully the finale will be as prompt, Stuart.
And the flags go up. Starter Stuart Turner is ready for them. And the 5 runners walk in steadily. They're off. And they eventually jump away. The £50 risk-free on Racing with Smarket's handicap hurdle. Just the one flight of hurdles to jump in the back straight on the first occasion. And Ballymoy, the green silks, disputes it with the nose-banded Chebalco. And then Seymour Lights with the white cap, keen after this absence, tracking the leading pair. Followed by Better Get Along in the hands of Brian Hughes, the black and white jacket, and the nose-banded Spirit of Cafe last of the 5 as they head into their first turn. And Ballymoy, with ears pricked, racing alongside Chebalco as they bear left-handed. And then the keen-going Seymour Lights. Rachel McDonald with a tight hold of his head, but he wants to go a stride or 2 quicker. He's being shadowed by Better Get Along. And Spirit of Cafe and Lucy Alexander last on straightening as they now head inside the final 2 miles. And so Ballymoy and Sam Twiston-Davis just leading Chebalco and Will Kennedy on the approach to the first of the 3 flights up the Haydock home straight. Big leap there from Ballymoy. He stood off it. All 5 handled it safely enough. Seymour Lights still chasing the leading duo and still not really settling. Better Get Along on the left, and then Spirit of Cafe over the 3rd. They all safely go. So to the last in the line before the judge, Ballymoy on the near side of Chebalco. They'll rise virtually as one. Ballymoy particularly fluent through the air there. Seymour Lights and Better Get Along, 3rd and 4th, almost eyeballing each other. Spirit of Cafe, another who's returning from a fairly substantial absence, given a waiting ride by Lucy Alexander. They complete a mile now and head into the paddock turn. And Ballymoy just shading the advantage to dual course winner Chebalco. They were successful on this card 12 months ago. Really does revel in testing conditions as well, and Chebalco looking to give a bit of compensation here to Will Kennedy and Donald McCain, who suffered a reverse, of course, in the previous race on Ubaltique, unseated at the first. The leading pair stalked across the far side by Seymour Lights on the near side of Better Get Along, and then Spirit of Cafe. So drawing towards the 5th with a stiff breeze now at their tails. Ballymoy and Chebalco, almost inseparable. Seymour Lights, Better Get Along, given a patient ride by Brian Hughes, and then Spirit of Cafe firmly in touch. Inside the last mile, midway down the back. And Spirit of Cafe at the rear of the field there just ran down the flight, and it cost him a bit of momentum as Ballymoy continues to race upsides the nose-banded Chebalco. A circuit completed, going towards 4 out. Seymour Lights 2 lengths away in 3rd, Better Get Along charting a wider route, and then Spirit of Cafe. Ballymoy and Chebalco with the latter clipping the top. Seymour Lights in their slipstream, and then Better Get Along and Spirit of Cafe just having to be kidded and coaxed along to try and bridge the gap on the other 4. So into the far corner they go, and heading now to the last 5 furlongs. They've got 3 more to jump up the straight. Still Chebalco and Ballymoy have been inseparable. Only a half length between them. Chebalco, by virtue of holding the inner, shading the advantage as they swing on into Ballymoy. Then Seymour Lights, Better Get Along, finessed into it. Brian Hughes wiping a bit of mud from his goggles. The gallop on now inside the last half mile. Ballymoy taking this step up in trip at Chebalco on the far side. And there the more fluent leap from Chebalco. Ballymoy got in tight to it. They've drawn 4 or 5 lengths ahead of Better Get Along being ridden along in 3rd. Seymour Lights at this stage left behind. Here's the penultimate flight. Ballyboy there took off and landed with a half-length advantage. He winged it, came up outside the wings of the flight, and Ballyboy now edges on from Chibalco. The run down to the last, and then a furlong and a half on the flat. Ballyboy at the final flight hops over it, 3 lengths ahead of Chibalco. Better Get Along in third, staying on determinedly. Ballyboy asks for a bit more effort in front now, stretching further clear. Better Get Along moving into second, is inching a little bit closer. Ballyboy though with only 100 yards to cover, staying on stoutly here in the hands of Sam Twiston-Davies, and Ballyboy takes the step up in trip successfully and in style. Sees off Better Get Along with Chibalco in third and Seymour Lights in fourth, completing the quintet. Spirit of Keith.
Number 2, Ballyboy.
Yes, smooth performance from a well-backed favourite. Ballyboy wins and gives a cross-the-card double for Simon Munir and Isaac Swade. Nigel Twiston-Davies trained and his son Sam on board. And he beat Better Get Along in second place for Nicky Richards and Brian Hughes, and Chitty Balco third for Donald McCain and Will Kennedy.
Good performance, yeah. I think he has improved for going 2 mile 3 today with seeing his run last time out over 2 miles. That was in the Jerry Field, and I think it was a clever ride as well by Sam Twiston-Davies. He basically sat on the tail of Chitty Balco, didn't allow Donald McCain's runner a soft lead, and then he's taken over, and once he does, he always looked like winning.
Yeah, he did really. There was never a point where you thought, well, you've got challengers, serious challengers. Yeah. Better Get Along's going to finish second, but he's sort of half racing behind the bridle from leaving the back straight and runs on after the back of the last, but never really threatens to land a blow to the winner.
He was a never near a second, wasn't he? He's run a funny race, so he's travelling all right now, the last down the back, but then he comes off the bridle. Whether this tight track hasn't played to his strength, you know, I'd judge him more on an Air or somewhere like that, or a Doncaster. But
if you hadn't seen him, if you didn't know the horse, watching you think, well, he's worth a try over further.
Yeah, well, you'd say come back from 3 miles, wouldn't you, rather than going up from 2 to 2.5. So, but he just, yeah, he looked all about stamina today. He just didn't seem to have the gears with compared to Ballymoy, and then he starts to stay on. So he was a never near a second. As I said, I'd judge him more on a galloping track. I think he'd be more at home.
Yeah, as we come down towards 3.